We're here at Greater Come As You Are Community Church with Reverend Carlton Lynch and Trustee Richard Stevenson. All right, now you're together to announce that Reverend Al Sharpton will be coming to Fort Wayne?
Correct. He will be coming to the city of Fort Wayne.
Why?
Well, I think for a multiplicity of reasons. I think it's time. I think our people need to be challenged. I think our people need to be encouraged with all that's going on throughout not just our city, but throughout our country. And I believe that he has a relevant voice within the 21st century.
All right, but why reach outside of Fort Wayne to bring him in? I mean, Fort Wayne has a lot of brilliant leadership here. Why, in your opinion, haven't the leaders in Fort Wayne come together to do just what you proposed?
One of the things, if I may say, Minister Lynch, you said something that was really profound, that he has the voice. Many times people have the voice that the masses will listen to, and this is one of the things that resonates with Minister Sharpton. He has a message that many people will listen to, even though they've heard it coming from other folk.
So
when is he going to be here?
He was scheduled to be here initially September the 6th, but due to someone in his family that passed, the date has been changed to September the 21st, which is a Monday, and that's going to be at 7 p.m.
7 p.m. All right, now, for the longest time, we've had a chance to be in front of different groups of people, and a lot of people around Fort Wayne don't like Al Sharpton. They feel that he's a troublemaker and that he's going to give messages that might be insightful in a negative way.
That message or word is a demagogue. And many times people in the community, they feel that way towards Jesse Jackson and Ralph Sharpton.
Al Sharpton.
And many people fear them. But we don't feel that way. We think that he has something to say, and he will educate the people, educate the community, as well as some of the leaders that have this bad feeling towards him. So it's going to be an enlightenment experience.
When you look back over time and you see things in Fort Wayne building and building and building, is this just one of those kind of moments that will actually galvanize this community together so we can go forward and get out of the dark ages?
I think exactly that's what we all would like to see, this whole community go forward and come out of the dark ages. And I think with the enlightenment of Mr. Sharpton, that will put us on our way.
Well, Reverend Lynch, for a long time, pastors have been accused of not being socially progressive or politically engaged, those types of things. Will Al Sharpton's visit here change the perceived mindset of pastors to be more aggressive in the civil rights arena?
No. I believe that his whole coming is to bring attention and awareness. And I think I would disagree on pastors' involvement. I believe there's been a major changing of the guards. Yes. You had the Dr. Bloodsaw, you had the Sam Walker, the Jesse Whites, and so forth, and Pastor Clyde Adams, and some great men. And the guards have changed. And it's not that they're not involved, but maybe is that they're not in the forefront. But I believe they're definitely engaged. Anthony Payton, politically sound and a voice. He may not be before the camera, but definitely is engaged. Pastor Robert Bell is engaged, involved, work heavily with the union, dealing with the collective bargaining. So I believe that's just people's perception that they're not involved.
I think you're absolutely right, and you must not omit the pastor Pettis, who is doing a dynamic job as leader in the community, along with Pastor McGill. Many times McGill has been referred as a guy who's in the civil rights, but he never been in a fight or so forth. However, if you see some of the things that he is trying to do, you will see that he's active. So I think, in short, it's a new era.
Yeah.
They're doing new things and so forth, but we must coordinate all our efforts so that we're working as one unified body.
And speaking of one unified body, all right, we discussed the pastors just then. Do you see the NAACP and Urban League also being joining this, let's say, a coalition type of a mindset to totally enlighten this community?
Certainly, as some of us leaders getting together, just like Mr. Pastor Lynch and I, so forth, we often talk about the Urban League. We often talk about the NAACP. We can, as well as the group of ministers, and we all agree that we must come together, and we will come together. We're coming together, in fact, is the right terminology.
Okay, as we wind down here, we're coming together to do what?
We're coming together to make a difference in moving our city forward.
Yeah, and I think just because, I think that statement, coming together, I believe we are together. John and Ray, great relationship.
Yes.
Larry, Geist, great relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But we have three different missions. The Urban League deals with job placement. They deal with a lot of retrieving the data that's needed. The NAACP is one who fights justice, and so forth. I believe that my calling is more inner city. I love to work with the families that have lost loved ones, and I don't believe that all of us are always going to do the same thing, but we can support each other while we're all in our different lanes. And so, yes, I'm going to the NAACP banquet. Yes, I'm supporting the Urban League gala and so forth. And I think we have to get to the people to understand that we're not together, that we're not divided. We are together. We're working together. When John needs either of us, we're there, and it's vice versa. And so I don't even want to give the community an inkling that we're not coming together.
It sounds like, and I'm with you 100% on that. I just think that the community has never seen you together addressing issues, and I think that one way we can solve that is by perhaps doing forums where the different groups do come together and we address issues within ourselves. Because I'm convinced that Fort Wayne has enough brilliance to address anything. It's just that it's untapped, and we look outside too much for other people. Now, Al Sharpton, I'm glad that he's coming here. But what I'm saying is that we need to magnify the local leadership as it reflects off of each other here in Fort Wayne.
Yeah, but even, Rick, let me say this to him as well. I'm one that personally, I think we've done enough forums. Maybe the community, maybe the problem is not the leadership, maybe it's the community need to come together, because we're definitely working together, and maybe they don't see it on a regular, but dealing with forums and these different, I'm not going to do an event to show people that we're together. We're together when over 3 people just this weekend was shot and killed, stabbed, and so forth. We're together when we're at the hospitals, and just because John and Ray isn't at the hospital with me and I'm not in a meeting with him doesn't suggest that we're not together.
Oh, no, I'm not suggesting that. But what I'm suggesting is that just like you and Trustee Stevenson are right here in front of me right now, that we need to get more intellect together and talk over issues that not only pertain to Fort Wayne, but nationally. Because I know most of the guys here in Fort Wayne, and they can articulate profoundly on local issues, state issues, and national issues. And I think that you've lost the confidence of the people, and that it's all too easy to get the confidence of the people back. Because when you say people should come together, they still they've been conditioned to look for a leader to follow. And they're not going to do so on their own because you're going to get a lot of confusion. But when you have people who have a title, they will come together behind that. But anyway, that's not the point of why we're here. But I want to bring it up because that's one of the things that we need to do here in Fort Wayne to show the other cities across Indiana that Fort Wayne has galvanized itself and they're willing to step forward. And Al Sharpton is more or less a keynote to that. Am I off base? Am I accurate?
No, I think you're right.
I think you're absolutely right. And what you're saying is what makes us tick. And when I say we, Mr. Pastor Lynch and myself, and along with some of the other leaders, we are constantly talking and putting our heads together. You know, we live in a time of new technology, and whereas one could be in Rome and the other one could be in England, and we can all communicate and be of one accord. And that's what happens a lot of times with us. He talks to me, I talk to him, he talks to Jonathan Ray, I talk to Pastor Pettis, he talks to Pastor McGill, and before you know it, we have communicated over the whole gamut, the whole spectrum of leaders.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.